Okay, I forgot. There's one other thing I wanted to say. Often clients will want to know, where are we going? What is your intention? What is your way of thinking? What kind of work do you produce and why? Okay, this is where we get a little deeper, and this is where I hope what I do and what you do and other people do is more diverse. So, since I had to say this 2, 3 times this morning, and probably another one still to come, what am I looking for? What is the effect I'm trying to do with my work? One, if you're a business, I want you to succeed. If I choose to work with you and you are worthy, and to my regard, my heart, my essence, I want you to succeed. That means I want you to grow, scale, and sustain. Financially, I want you to make money, make more money so you can do the good that you do more so. I want you to have cultural success and social success. Social success, the fact that people like you and spread the word, and cultural success is where people actually pick up and play with it, and it inspires people to do similar things. For example, the Cheetos pants, I think, don't get pissed off. I think that's where that agency said, what would Mischief do? See, Mischief has a cultural success. So anyway, what I do is I work with clients like this from the beginning all the way through to post-production and media. I never go away and develop things and come back and try to sell. We discover it together. Yeah, Mischief does it the same way. I've been doing it since the 90s because I found out from Shia Day that's the way they often did it. It's that idea that when you discover things together with the client, you're never selling, you're discovering together. In other words, if the client, if she wants to say, this is who I want as my customer, we'll look at that together and explore, why not this target audience? Why not this one? Why not all of them? Why not, We look at that together, not with an agenda, but with a sense of curiosity and discovery. We'll look at what everyone else is doing in the industry, your competitors, and even things that compete for attention in that space, which is a big deal. We look at those things and identify the conventions, what people are doing. This is pretty duh, but it's fun. We get a lot of jokes in at this point. And then we look at what those opposite disruptions of every one of those things could be to find the thing that is so wrong, but it is so right. Yes, it has to be unignorable. That is a great word. Thanks, Mischief, for owning that word sometimes too. The point is, I hate to see a dollar or a moment or a pixel wasted. This morning I told a client to be that what they're trying to do is worthy. And unfortunately, because of who they are and what we're going to be doing, we're going to have to do 10 times more work to be seen properly. So we're not looking opportunistic, shallow, hollow, smash and grab, you know what I mean? A situation where if we put something together that looks like it was done quickly, that will actually hurt the effect. So we look at these things together. Again, I'm always have ideas, but I constantly are in lockstep with the client, discovering everything as we go. So eventually we arrive at the exact same point together that we need to do something like this. We need to do something this scary. We need to do this shocking. We need to do this so emotional. Yeah, we have to. We have to do that together, and we get to that point together. So when, in some cases, everyone's got a boss of some kind. The chairman and has to sell to the board. A president has to sell it to their shareholders. A C-level person has to sell it to their boss, whatever. And there's something wonderful happens when you do that. Yes, you both feel like you're working harder, but you lose that drama of dun da da da, accept or reject. No, human beings like to discover. And when you discover it together, like two kids poking in the ground, discovering an earthworm or a beetle or an anthill, you do that together that you used to do, and you do that with clients. When you get to that point, then your enthusiasm is not really yours, it's our enthusiasm. maybe you have an idea that gets into their mind, and then they've got the enthusiasm, and that belief and enthusiasm that they own goes to everyone else they have to sell it to in a more effective way than if you sell something to them. They say, well, yeah, this is the agency's recommendation. Here's what they say. Compare that to, this is what we found out, and this is what we know we have to do. We, see? They versus we. A we process. But the beginning, we can certainly point out to people we're going to have to go somewhere really interesting, really, irritating, really disruptive, really creative. So we make $1, work like 10, make 1,000, work like 1,000,000, make 1,000,000, work like 1,000,000,000, making something famous. How do we make this famous? It's simple. But what I'm trying to get across from this thing is the way I tend to work is I've long ago in the 90s started working this way to get rid of that dog and pony show crap, and all that justification for the fee with all our people and all the other crap ideas. I hated that. I've always hated that. And in a relationship, I have great relationships with animals and people. It's getting that symbiotic kind of relaxed childlike discovery, and curiosity that we go on together from the very beginning of the meeting all the way to post-production and understanding it. Changing, this is what they are recommending, to this is what we have discovered. When the client is doing that, when everyone at the brand is feeling like that, not only do you sell the initial work, but it's a relationship that people really treasure. And when that client or other people leave to go somewhere else, they'll want that same feeling. All my best client opportunities came from something I did for someone else. And since a lot of the stuff I do is business consulting that I can't really publicize, it's whispered, hey, bring this guy in. And that's how it works. That's how I work and why I work. A process I hope you can play with too. I really recommend it because it works better than dog and pony shows every time.